Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. Well, today we are going to create a couple cards using the Vintage Vibes stamp set. This is brand new from Altenew. Altenew just came out with a brand new release, and the items that we're going to use today are part of that release. But this Vintage Vibes stamp set is so fun. You can see it creates that retro TV. Love that. I grew up in a time where I was the remote control, where I had to get up. If my dad had a long day at work, I had to get up and turn the TV for him. So I guess I'm considered retro, and I found the stamp set super fun. There are roller skates in here too, which makes it fabulous. And the roller skates, there are so many options with it. You can create that rose, you can create a rainbow, you can leave them blank, or you can color them in. Lots of options with that. And I thought the TV was super fun. I do have the coordinating die set that will cut out the TV and the roller skate, the heart, and then also the inside of the TV. So you could actually create a shaker with the TV if you wanted to. Now, Altenew came out with a 6x6 simple coloring stencil that will coordinate with the stamp set. The bottom two images will actually create the 3D kind of a blank TV screen, and then there's the heart. The heart in the stencil will create the heart on the inside of the TV, kind of emulating the I Love Lucy kind of a thing, because there's a sentiment that says I love you. So that's fun. And then there's the base of the roller skate, and then also you can create a background with that heart too, like they did it in the brochure. But color in portions of this roller skate in that stamp set too. Now, we're not creating a card with this die set. This is the Thank You for Being My Friend die set. It's very large. It will fit portrait or landscape on a card, but I did make 2 extra cards. At the very end of the video, I show a picture of all 4 cards that I made for the blog hop, but I did want to share with you how nice that die set was. For our background, we're going to be using the embossing folder called Window Slats. This is brand new. I love geometric shapes in my background because it just adds a lot of texture. And this Window Slats is perfect because it's 6x6 and you can go horizontal or vertical with it. Now, these erasers are not part of the brand new release, but I did want to share with you and try them out with you guys today. There's 3 erasers in this pack, and these are called stamp conditioning erasers. Usually when you go over a solid image, or you want to season your stamps, you use your palm. These erasers will do that for you. And they say that when you erase with it, there's less eraser shavings. So I was just intrigued. They're very inexpensive. They're $4.99 for 3 erasers. So I thought we would try those out too. I'll list them below if you guys want to check them out. Actually going to grab some white cardstock and a pencil, and let's see if our eraser is just not a stamp conditioning, if it actually erases. And you know what? It erases beautifully. And you can see the clumps. I just have 1 clump on my paper, and then 1 actually stuck to the eraser. So that's pretty nice. Saves you some sweeping. So we're going to give that a try. Okay, since this is a layering, it's a 6x8 layering stamp set, so it's very large. I'm going to bring in a card front panel, and we're going to die cut first. I found this to be a little bit easier, especially with layering stamps, because sometimes you can go off shape, and when you die cut it out, it's not a nice die cut. So we'll take the TV and also the roller skate. We're going to create 2 cards today, a TV card and then also a roller skate card. So I want 2 roller skates that are the same. We'll put this in the right corner, saving room on the left for another skate, and then I'm going to use some low-tack tape, tape these down and run these through the die cut machine. I'm going to actually add some of that low-tack tape on the reverse side, keeping them in my panel. This way we can put it in our stamp positioner, and it's just going to be easier for stamping. Okay, once this is all good to go, we're going to go ahead and zoom in, bring in our MISTI, put our panel in here. I'm actually going to use my tape runner to secure my panel to my MISTI. Sometimes, you know, MISTIs come with magnets, but sometimes it's easier just to tape it down. Now, using the layering guide in the brochure, we're going to go ahead and start off by taking the base layer of our roller skate, which is so fun. I'm going to ink this up with jet black ink. For my inking today, I'm going to be using like 4 different sets of mini ink cubes. Altenew has these in regular sized ink pads, so I'll list them down below if you guys want to use the same inks. Altenew has some great inks. Okay, while I stamp, I guess I could tell a fun little story. When I was a kid growing up, roller rinks were the thing. So I roller skated a lot. Never learned how to reverse roller skate. But when later on in life, when I was dating my husband, he thought it'd be fun to go to a roller rink to on a date. And he was a pro, of course. He went around that oval in the middle of the rink beautifully. For me, I found the older I got, the less balance I had. So I was a very wobbly roller skater. And whenever I wobble, I always look for something to grab onto, to stabilize myself. I wasn't a wall hugger. I thought, on this date, I'm not going to be a wall hugger. That wouldn't be very impressive. So I just roller skated really slow at my own speed. I'm taking the metal plate for the roller skate right now, and I'm inking that up with Cloudy Sky. And then we'll color in the wheels with our coral berry ink. But back to my roller skating story. I was doing fabulous. I was getting the hang of it again, and I thought, okay, this is kind of fun, My husband was lapping me, for every 1 lap I did, I think he did 3 laps. But I was doing good until they dimmed the lights, put the strobe light on, and then I was done after they did that, because I really lost my balance. So I was just trying to make my way to the wall. Okay, I was gonna be a wall hugger. And in the meantime, all these kids and everybody were just zooming by me, which made me even more nervous. Well, whenever I feel like I'm gonna fall, I reach out to try and grab something to stabilize me so I don't fall. You don't want to fall the older you get, definitely. So the closest thing to me wasn't the wall, it was a kid. And so to prevent me from falling, I grabbed onto the shoulder of this kid. He must have been 12 years old. And I didn't take him down, guys. I didn't take him down. But he did kind of jerk, like get away from me, lady. And then I made myself to the wall, and then I had to end up apologizing to the parent because I did that. But never, ever, ever, ever again. I ended up sitting out the rest of our session, I should say. But that was my roller skating, my last roller skating story. So I thought I would share with you that. It was a nightmare. Those poor parents looked at me like they wanted to harm me for harming their kid, which I really didn't harm him. I just kind of grabbed his jacket, but he prevented me from falling. Okay, we're moving on. Let's go back to our card here. You know how back in the 80s, everything was orange and greens, so I thought we'd make a green TV. And I went ahead and inked up my TV, but I thought we didn't use our stamp conditioner, so let's grab our eraser and go over our image. I'm going to clean off my stamp really good and then go over our base layer of the TV with our stamp conditioner. This is going to help let that ink grab it, I imagine, and then we can stamp a more even tone of green. The green I'm using is frayed leaf. For the rainbow of my skates, again, for the wheels, I used coral berry. The rainbow, the first color, was the green that we're using now, frayed leaf. The middle color was butternut, and then the third color was the purple, which was amethyst. And you could color in the skate, guys. There's 2 images in your stamp set that will color in the lacy area and the heel area. So if you want to make your skate pink, you could do that. I wanted my skate to be white, so I didn't use those 2 layers. But the stamp eraser, or the stamp conditioning eraser, worked great. It actually, it seemed like it gave more coverage. I should have used that first, but nice little eraser. For my second layer of the TV, we're going to go around the outside edge of our our TV with our jet black ink. And you can see I over inked this image. I'm not worried about the splotch that I made because I'm going to use the coordinating die, and we're going to add a layer on top of our TV. So you could restamp it if you want to, but I'm going to go ahead and roll with it because we're going to cover that ink splotch. Okay, next up we are going to take our little dial area. We're going to add a black detail to that. And then after we do this, I thought we would bring in some silver embossing powder and go over our third layer of the TV and add some kind of a metallic look to it. And while we do this, I thought there's a metal plate on the skate piece here. I'm going to add some silver embossing powder to that area too. It's the area where I used the cloudy sky on the skate, the gray area. Basically it's the metal plate that your skate is on. I thought I'd just add a little extra detail to our image here. So I'm going to use my Versamark ink up the metal part of the skate and also the detail in the antenna area of our TV. The antenna piece in the detail area of our TV actually will put feet on our TV also. So I thought it'd be perfect. We're gonna scoop up our silver embossing powder and go over our skates and also our TV to where we have some nice shiny detail to it. I'm going to use my heat gun and melt the embossing powder, and then once everything is melted, since we already die cut this out, all I have to do is pop them out of my panel here and then we are good to go. Okay, next up we're going to go ahead and add that detail piece for our TV. So I have some white cardstock. I'm going to bring in my stencil. This is the Vintage Vibe stencil, and I trimmed down some low tack tape. And okay, for all you young people, back in the day our TVs went off the air and then it showed vertical lines and like in a rainbow kind of a color. That's what I wanted to create for my TV, for my cards, kind of bringing in all the same colors. So I'm using my coral berry, my frayed leaf, my butternut, my amethyst, and then I'm also going to bring in Misty Morning to create some vertical stripes here on my TV. You can actually use both of these bottom images of this stencil to create a blank screen, but I wanted to just add some color. So I thought putting a off the air kind of a thing on my TV screen, it would be super fun. I'm just basically masking off the areas to create a rainbow inside my TV window here. And then once we have all the vertical stripes, I do want one horizontal stripe. So I'm going to use my same post-it or low tack tape and create a gray horizontal stripe. And then this is going to be perfect to layer on the inside of our TV. For the most part, I'm going to create a very neutral tone background. So just bringing in some color is really going to make it pop. And I think my TV, my horizontal line is a little crooked, but I think we can get away with this. So we'll take the coordinating die and die cut out this, and then we'll just line it up, and then we can add a piece of foam adhesive to this and then add it to our TV. So we have a little dimension here and some shine with that silver embossing powder. Okay, now we need to work on our background. So to do that, we're going to set these aside, zoom back out, and we're going to bring in our window slats embossing folder. Now again, this says it's a geometric 3D embossing folder, which I love these types because they're kind of like neutral, and you can put anything on them. I'm going to create two panels, one horizontal and one vertical. And that's the best thing, again, about 6x6 embossing folders, is you can do that. Next, we went ahead and ran those through, and you can see the layers that we have. It kind of looks like house siding. I'm going to go ahead and adhere these to our card bases so they're good to go. These are card front panels, so it will completely cover our card base. Now, keeping with the neutral theme for our background, I have a piece of white cardstock in about a 2.5 inch circle. I'm placing them behind my narrow brick stencil. This is from Altenew also. Love the stencil. Now if you want to use your Misty Morning ink to do a little shading, I think that's light enough, but I'm going to go ahead and use some Distress Oxide ink. This is Pumice Stone, to add just a light shading over the stencil. We're going to stamp our sentiment on these panels, so I wanted to keep it very neutral and very light, but I wanted some extra texture and color in our background. So this is a nice neutral color. Once we have our shading done, we'll just remove our stencil, and I had added pixie spray behind my stencil. That's how come it's stuck down, but our sentiment is good to go. I'm going to trim down my rectangle to 4.5 inches wide and place these both in my Misty and stamp our sentiments. For the round one, we're going to add the sentiment that says, "You're not old, you're vintage." And then for our rectangle piece, I'm going to stamp "Just roll with it." So nice fun sentiments, huh? It looks like I'm stamping crooked, but I'm actually stamping the top circle sentiment with the lines of the bricks. So I had it crooked in my Misty, but it's actually straight. Okay, we'll set these aside, and we're going to go ahead and add some foam adhesive behind our sentiment pieces. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Altenew has a fairly new foam tape. Really nice stuff. It's 1/2 inch wide, and it's like a Mac Daddy roll. Let me show it to you. And it works fabulous. This is the roll. Kind of hard to gauge it on screen, but this is 33 meters long, so lots and lots in here. It actually equals a little over 108 feet, so it'll last you a long time. I'll list it below, and I like that the release paper removes really nicely. So I added my TV to my circle sentiment here. "You're not old, you're vintage." And I'm loving the way this is turning out. Next, we'll take our horizontal, I take that back. We're going to take our vertical embossed panel, and we're going to add our "Let's roll with it" in our roller skates to that. And I love the way this turns out. Now for bells and whistles, we're going to bring in some clear sequins, and we're just going to add a few here and there, keeping with the neutral background, just so to make those colors pop on these cards. I love that. And again, I actually created 2 more cards, guys. At the very end of the video, I showed all 4 cards. Not the first picture shot, it's the second one. But I thought we would add some sparkle. I did add some silver glitter drops to the antenna, to the knobs on the TV. And then I'm going in between the laces with this glitter. So we have some glittery laces. I think that's gonna kind of go with the retro vibe. Everybody needs glittery laces. And then I'm also gonna go over the antenna on the TV. We're gonna thicken that up a little bit more and add a nice shiny antenna. And also we'll do the wheels of our roller skates too. But that finishes off my projects today. I hope you do get a chance, guys, to visit the blog hop. Tons of inspiration, lots of new products over at Altenew. And I have 2 more inspirational projects over on my blog too, if you guys want to just check it out. There's still shots over there. But have a fabulous day. Thanks so much for joining me. We will see you again real soon, guys. Bye-bye.